Now that you're awake, I guess I want to talk about, voids. Let's say you met someone, you know, you met someone, or there's this, relative of yours that you really, really, really like, or a pet that you really love, and it's part of your day to day. And let's say that someday you just straight up lose them. I don't know. Maybe they're dead, or maybe you had a really big fight and you two won't be seeing each other, or something like that. You screwed up, or they screwed up. But remember, we're talking about something that really you really holds dear inside your red, pumping heart. And you got this situation, and oh, by the way, that noise was my chair. They're not part of your life anymore. So yeah, you now have a choice. You either face it and live your life, keep on, move on, keep going. I mean, that's pretty much the only that's pretty much the only reasonable choice you got. But uh, I think I want to talk about the process of feeling or healing this void. Because the loss of that person, or that pet really makes you hollow in some place, in some places inside your soul, somewhere inside of you, that it's feeling pretty much everything about this loss. And this process, I mean, I think it's one of the most cruel things anyone can ever feel. I mean, when it comes to death, I think death is something more reasonable to acknowledge and accept. It's hard. It's just as hard, but it's easier to understand. I mean, my grandfather was old. He wasn't doing well, and he was old. So yeah, I mean, this will probably end up happening to me as well. Or my cat was also pretty much old, or someone ran over my cat. Happened to me. But yeah, man, eventually you just, yeah, man. I mean, I wasn't really looking forward to having you for the last 45 years, or to the end of my days, because I knew I would have to overcome your death someday. But you need some time. But you will get over it. I mean, I got over my cat. So this in case of death, obviously we're talking death over here. So in my opinion, death is easier to understand, to process, and therefore to get over it. You still need time. It still might hurt, but yeah, I mean, it's easier for the brain to understand. Now, when this someone is alive and well, might get a little bit, just a little bit worse. Just might take some more time. Because if you went separate ways from someone that you once held that close, means that you either broke up, if it was some kind of partner of yours, or I don't know, it was a maybe a best friend that you no longer trust, or the other way around. Maybe they can't trust you anymore, so therefore they won't talk to you. There's some people that you just end up straight up lose. You know what I mean? You straight up just lose them. And the void, man, the void. It's so much worse than someone that died, in my opinion. Because from me to you, I mean, we take these things in a different manner, in a different way, and it takes more time to you than it does to me to get over a dead cat, or get over a girlfriend, or a best friend, or a brother. Someone screwed up, and now he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. I mean, that sucks. It does. But this void, man, it's strange. I've been trying to understand my void for quite some time now. I mean, I get caught up thinking about it way too often. I mean, I'm definitely infinitely better than I ever was. If you ask me, I'm the best version of myself today, even though I'm so far away from who I really want to be. But yeah, part of the process, I mean, the first step for everything that has to do with you is getting to know yourself, know why. And a pretty strong thing about me, a cool thing about me, I mean, maybe probably the best thing about me is that I'm so used to thinking about everything I've ever do and everything it comes to my head and how I feel, and I'm always second guessing and asking myself, why do I feel this way, or why am I thinking this? Why am I doing this? Why? I want to understand, and when I do understand something, when I get to some conclusion, I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere. Getting to understand me, getting to understand the void inside me and my other problems. I mean, I got many of them. I came to realize that I am my worst and biggest struggle. Ironic, isn't it? I mean, I began talking about when you're struggling about someone else, about something that it comes from the outside, but in reality, my point is that we really need to look inward, look inside yourselves for the answers, and you might not even find it. But if you start looking for the questions might lead you somewhere. I don't know. I mean, works for me. not that, not, not that, not that anything has worked for me so far, but I think it's basically my best quality is that I always ask a second guess myself. That's good. That's good. I once read somewhere that this was actually one of the highest forms of intelligence. I think that's what it said. But I wasn't happy about it because it said I was intelligent. I mean, that's not the point here. I don't want to prove myself that I know things, that I'm intelligent, that my IQ is monstrous, and I have such a big cock, and I'm such a big player, and I can do whatever I want. That's not the point, right? That's not the point for me. I guess overthinking, of all this overthinking, and I say overthinking in a good way, because I think there's a good way for you to overthink things when you actually want to get to some good answer, some good conclusion that will help you guide yourself. So I guess the whole point is not to prove that I'm the GOAT, because I'm not, but I could be someone better. I could be better. I see my potential to get to that point where I think I'm really walking forward. Still got a lot to learn about myself. But yeah, that's why I'm making all these questions. That's why I second guess myself to understand more. And I also do this for others, I mean, if someone just straight up talks shit to me, I'm later on thinking, man, what the fuck got him so mad, Go through whatever the fuck I said to that person, and then, oh, that didn't quite sound well, right? And sometimes it's just straight up, bro, it wasn't my fault. It can't be my fault. So yeah, and then going through the whole conversation, I sometimes see, oh, this guy, he was talking about this and that, and I know that this is pretty much something that hurts him, or maybe he's saying that to me at that moment because he remembers something I did to him, or I told him a month ago, and he didn't like that, and he didn't talk to me or anything like that. He was just going through that unnecessary pain, and cultivating this anger towards whatever I did a month ago, and it culminated right there. Sometimes it happened. I've seen it happen. You've probably seen that too. You probably did it yourself. I know I did. So, what I'm trying to say about the void of someone else, man, it hurts so fucking much, doesn't it? I mean, if you really, it's like a fucking sharing gun, you know. Wait, wait, this will make a sense in a minute. I swear, this will make sense. I swear. But it's like, it's really like uh, a Sharingan. You know what I mean? People on the anime were always talking about some, the more you hate, the stronger your eye becomes. You know, the stronger is the eye, and it's something like that, man. The more you cherished that person, the more it hurts to see them go. And it's this is natural. This is natural. That's just how. That's just the way it works. The way God's intended. Maybe not, but that's how it works, baby. I'm feeling, I have this void inside of me. This hollowness, if that's even a word in English dictionary. Sometimes I feel hollow, and sometimes my brain visits this void, and wherever it visits this void, I tend to be miserable. What I'm trying to say is my mind visits this void because I'm already miserable. Something happens in my life, my personal life, or whatever that makes me gray, makes me sad, and kind of depressed, maybe even. And then in the middle of everything, in the middle of all that suffering, I'm bang. I remember what I've lost. And it's really pathetic if you ask me, but that's just the way it works. And it all culminates. I never even used that word. I just know it exists. So sorry if I butchered the whole pronunciation of that. So it's basically just everything just culminates in the outburst of sadness, but not in the oh my god, I hate this life so much, I'm gonna kill every one of you and then myself in Minecraft, of course, in a sad way. Have you ever felt, of course there's people that felt like this. I've seen it happening. Have you ever felt like you were not yourself when you're sad? You're straight up depressed, this sadness has gotten to you like a fog in your mind, and it's just suppressed everything, and you can see, you can think clearly or anything like that, and you just can't. You feel depressed like this, and what was my point even? Let me get the door open for my cat. He wants to leave my room. Sadness has got to you like a fucking MMA fighter, like choking the hell out of you, the life out of you, and oh my god, and you're like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I'm joking. That's not like that. It's just straight up like you're chained, and you can't move. You're chained, and when you feel this way, suddenly you just you want to walk towards the void. I don't know. Maybe to find yourself. Maybe to find. In hopes in hopes you can find whatever it was there before. Get in touch with the good feelings, that the good memories of that void. You just want to get in touch with something that lifts you up. That's what I observed in my case. That's what happens to me. I guess that's how it is, and you can't help but go towards the void and straight up talking nonsense to it. Imagine this. Imagine you have a brother, and this. You just straight up. It came to the unhappy place where you try to beat each other up. You had a disagreement, and it straight up ended with each of you trying to beat the shit out of one another, and you were throwing some steamed hams at one another. And yeah, so you guys naturally you won't talk to each other, won't be talking to each other. Not soon. And let's pretend that you never really forgave you guys. You never forgave yourselves. Or maybe you did, but you don't really want to get in touch with one another, because there's no need to. You guys don't want to get in touch anymore. And, but sometimes, you get the phone and, oh man, look at this. I found online, and he was like, oh damn, that's cool, man. Sometimes it happens. You get that conversation off. And wherever you get depressed, you can only think about, oh my God, man, me and my brother, we used to be so happy, we had our differences, and oh my God, man, what I did, I tried to beat him up, man. I beat him up, man. What did I do, man? I was out of my mind. Oh my God, man. And then you start hammering yourself, you start beating yourself to death because of what you did, because what already happened, and it doesn't matter anymore. He probably doesn't even think about it, and even if it does, it's a fresh new start. Just you can talk to him wherever you want. Call him to play some video games or stuff. Of course, it won't be like it was supposed to be at the start, but it's better than ever. It's better than it was before. Not before the beating up situation, but all right. But you know what I mean. So yeah, you're depressed, and you can only think about your brother, and you want to talk to him, and you want to meet him so much, and you need him in your life because you miss him so much. You miss your brother, and you miss when everything was colorful, was rainbows and shit, and you miss him. So you're depressed, and you won't stop thinking about it, and then someday it really gets to your skin, something really bad happens. You lose your job, or I don't know, your father sort of throws you out of the house or something like that. Yeah, something happens that really brings you down, and you're really depressed, and like you're already depressed about everything that happened, and your brother comes to your mind again, and suddenly you're like damn, man, what the fuck, like all of that is happening to me, and I lost my brother. In the beginning of it all, I punched him out of my life. We had everything. We always had each other's backs. We always fought as well, but we were together. You know what I mean? We were brothers for life. And man, what did I do? So you start beating yourself to death, man. You start beating yourself to death. Even whatever the fuck is happening in your life. And, this void of the past. This ghost. This straight up burning building that will never stop burning unless you yourself inside her and, try to put that fire. If you won't do this, man, it will keep burning. We gotta learn within ourselves how to put that fire out. Each one of us will have a different time and a different way of doing it. Yeah, voids. Maybe someone will relate to that, or maybe no one will ever relate to that, but it's important for me to do it, because like I said before, I am my own struggle. I am my biggest struggle. That's really about it. See ya. I'm just joking. I might start playing though.